Hey, what's up everybody? We are just leaving our city of Hannibal right now. We are headed to St. Louis. We're gonna go ahead and do an interview with Matt from Express Chem, and they are the makers of and distributors of Rim Strip, the stripper that we use when stripping powder coat and paint off of wheels and other products. So we're gonna go ahead and give you some B-roll footage of the beautiful drive down there. We're gonna get an in-depth interview so you can learn more about Rim Strip. Let's get it.
Yeah, he totally just did. What the hell?
So, as we mentioned, we came all the way down here to St. Louis to go ahead and speak with Matt. A lot of you guys know his Rim Strip, but it's Express Chem is the name of the company.
Correct. Yep. And we go by the brand Powder Strip. So.
Power Strip?
Powder Strip.
Powder Strip, gotcha, that's it. And I got that a little bit confused. And some of you may have got that confused. This was, well, a year or so ago when I really started checking out their product. We were turned on to their product from another powder coater. We had used B17 and we wanted to try something different. We were informed by Sean from Unknown Coatings that, you know, that this was the product that he used, and he really kind of liked the outcome of it, and the price was a lot different. So first off, thank you for letting us come down and do an interview and kind of get more information.
Well, thank you for coming down here.
I want to first kind of get a background of the company.
Yep.
So kind of where did you guys start making stripper for powder coat or stuff? Because if people look up Express Chem, they do see that you guys offer a lot of services.
Yeah, we do quite a few different things. So we started actually in the furniture restoration industry, so refurbishing those old antiques, that sort of thing. So it's also methylene chloride based strippers for that. So that's kind of where we got it, and then we just developed to powder coating over time. So powder coating is obviously a different animal than our furniture.
Gotcha.
Furniture strippers. It mainly you're using an acid based product in powder coating, and it's way more harsh than with your furniture strippers. So it was a slow development, but now we're focusing a lot more on powder coating at this point. It's a growing industry, as you know, and antiques are kind of slowing down. So
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. And I remember back, we had projects in 6th and 7th and 8th grade. This school I was at the wood shop, I had to take something that was kind of older or antique, not necessarily antique, and strip it and use it. So we used to use a product that was kind of like a gel for the wood stripper. Is that kind of where you guys got started with something similar to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Off that?
Yeah, and we've got both. Most furniture strippers now, like the bigger shops, they want a liquid just because they want to be able to dip a whole part. You know, you just set it and forget it that way. But you know, if you go on site, if you want to strip somebody's, you know, stairway, you can't.
Gotcha.
You got to just bring a paste out there. So.
Gotcha. So you guys kind of foresaw powder coating is growing and a growing demand in it. Did that come maybe from, were people contacting you when they saw, hey, these guys make a stripper for furniture, do they make another stripper? Is that how you guys got into the powder coating, or did you guys kind of see, hey, there's more businesses popping up, this is kind of going to be needed?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a crossover. Some of our customers do both, so it kind of just came hand in hand, and eventually we were like, we need to start making these strippers for these guys. So you just kind of boost them up, make them a little stronger, make them faster, and that's kind of how we got into it.
A lot of strippers, and you said it just a minute ago, I believe, is a lot of them have like one main common ingredient that goes along with everything else. What ingredient is that in your guys' powder strip?
Yeah, so the main ingredient in the most common one is methylene chloride. That's the one that, it really works the fastest. It's the most inexpensive one out there. That's the one that's a lot of scrutiny with the EPA. So that's one of those products that we do need people to have licensed businesses. We need a W-9 or a business license from them before we can sell to them. We've got to be able to sell to a business, so we prefer to ship directly to a business address, not residential. And we just want to do things right. So if the EPA, if we get in trouble with the EPA, we can't do this anymore. So
and a lot of businesses need the product. For sure.
Yep, and that hurts everyone.
So and just to make this clear, if you guys heard that, you got to have a business license. But if you have your business license and you run your business out of your house, they're not going to be able to deliver there unless by chance your house is also zoned correctly to where you can have your business license there, correct?
Yeah.
Some of them can have it divided. So just because you have a business license, if you're actually running it out of your garage, you still are not going to be able to purchase this, just to double check that. Yep. And make sure that that's clear.
And the last thing we want is your kids going in your garage and messing around with paint strippers. That's the worry from it.
There were some questions about how to properly store and or get rid of the excess material or what they've got. There was some questions about that.
I mean, bottom line, it's up to the fire marshal how much you can store. Most places don't mind anything more than a 55. Anything less than a 55-gallon drum. Storage, you want to keep at room temperature, typically 60 to 80 degrees. You want to absolutely have a lid on it because methylene chloride does evaporate off quickly. So that'll preserve your product, cleaning it out as much as possible, getting all that sludge out there, that'll prolong the life of it. Yeah, so that's the storage side of it. Disposal, so it is a hazardous material. You have to call a hazardous waste company to dispose of it properly. You're just going to have to get quotes. Every city has a waste company that you can call and get a quote from. So, but I would shop it around. It varies quite a bit. So
Gotcha.
Don't just get one quote, get 3 quotes on how to dispose of it. Luckily, since it does kind of evaporate off, your levels will get lower. So a lot of people just keep adding to it, and just boosting it back up. So you're not paying that fee every time.
Gotcha. And that's also the part of keeping this sludge clean as well too, because you don't want to put new stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? New of your liquid in there if there's still a bunch of sludge, and that way. I mean, try to get it cleaned out as best as possible when you're doing it. Can businesses purchase this in all 50 states of the U.S.?
Yes, all 50 states, we're fine. Alaska, Hawaii, we got to get shipping rates. It takes a little bit longer, obviously, but yeah, all 50 states are fine. In California, they are a little more strict, so you do want to check with your local branch or your local city guidelines to make sure you can't have that. Usually, they just make you have a permit, something like that, and then you should be fine. But yeah, we can sell to all 50 states.
And the next is Canada and or the rest of the world.
We can ship to Canada, we can do Mexico, we just don't do the rest of the world. There's too many regulations in the EU right now on that product, so we don't mess with it. So
completely understandable. We did have a few people ask, and I've had numerous people, both that subscribers of the channel or people that watch the channel and in the Facebook business group that I've got for powder coating, that have asked if you guys can get it, or people can get it in Canada. So they'll be happy to know that they're able to do that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's not a problem. We ship to Canada all the time. So
if somebody has their business license and they're running from their garage, do you guys have a product that you can sell them that will work for powder coat? Maybe it's not as powerful or as strong, but do you guys have a product that gets to those people?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got 2 liquid products. One's called our Quick Cut 3. It's benzyl alcohol. We took out the methylene chloride. We use benzyl alcohol. It's got a little bit of formic acid too, so it does have a little bit of kick. And then there's another one called our EnviroStrip. Both of these are room temperature. EnviroStrip is NMP based, so it's also non-methylene chloride, and that one is alkaline based. But yeah, those both work great at room temperature. Then we have one more that's a heated stripper. You heat it up to about 185 degrees. It actually works really well. You just have to have a heated tank for it.
Gotcha.
But that's a newer product that we came out with. That one's going to be very similar to like a green salt product out there.
That's what I was going to ask, similar to that.
Yeah, but we should be able to save everyone quite a bit of money on that.
It's something that, from learning some about green salt, and I'm sure yours would be similar, is you have to have a heated tank. It costs a little bit more to kind of get into it, but you'll get more uses out of it. You can do
Right.
a lot more, from what I've heard from people. With that heated tank, it's enclosed, it stops it from evaporating as quickly, and that you're able to actually kind of get more parts done and a little bit quicker.
Yeah, yep. And I would say, you can't quote me on it because every powder coating rim is different, but
Yep.
when we were doing tests, we were pumping out rims in 30 minutes. The BMW rims are obviously different. Those took longer, but yeah, about 30 minutes is roughly where we were finding we were able to strip, and the longevity of it's longer. So it just because it doesn't evaporate as quickly, you're saving your product longer too.
Is that something you have available now? They can get the tanks and stuff from you guys as well, or how does that work?
We work with other people that manufacture the tank. We don't want to middleman it. We're not trying to make money on it. We just want to sell the chemicals. So
Gotcha.
we'll put you guys in touch with somebody with the full system. So,
Or if you guys already have a full system and you're looking for another product, then they can probably, I'm not saying 100% for sure, but if they have a system similar to Green Solve and they wanted to use your product, they could just replace your product with it, correct?
yeah, absolutely. You could add our product directly to Green Solve and not have any issue.
Okay, there you go, and no chemical reaction, no nothing worried about that. So a couple of different options for people out there, whether they have, and those, even the heated one, you don't necessarily, you can have your business license, but do it from your home, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, because it's more environmentally safe.
Yep.
Sizes of product. So can they buy 5 gallons or a gallon, or do they have to buy 55 gallons? What are the different sizes of the products for?
Yeah, so the smallest we sell is 5-gallon pails. We sell them in 5s, 30s, and 55s. You can get all of our products in them. With the Eco Strip, typically we only sell it in 55s just because you need these bigger heated tanks. But what people do also is they just do drum heaters around drums. So, we can make them in smaller sizes if you want. So.
Okay. And do those drum heaters, are there ones that you know of that get warm enough to do kind of the Green Solve type stuff?
A lot. So I've got a few customers using them. A lot of them get up to about 160. You can pay more and get really, really nice ones, and they'll get to the 185 that you need to be at. But even at 160, your product's still working really well.
Okay.
So 185 is just ideal.
We noticed in colder temperatures during the wintertime without a heater, it almost seemed like, we'll be honest, he actually stuck his whole hand into, about 3 inches of his hand into the top part when it was about 30 degrees outside, and it didn't even burn him. It didn't do nothing. It didn't do anything.
Right.
He just rinsed his hand off, and it didn't even turn red.
Yeah. So what happens in the winter is that wax. We put a wax water combination in it,
Okay.
and that's designed to float at the top, and that slows down evaporation of the methylene chloride. So it kind of just makes a blanket. So what he probably dipped his fingers, which I don't recommend doing.
Yes,
I didn't
no, you
mean
guys
to.
do not
I
do
forgot
that.
to have my gloves on.
Yeah,
I
he
did.
totally forgot. And yes, you got to wear proper PPE. We spoke about it on the video because the video is already up of that happening. But yeah, we definitely.
But yeah, so what you're dipping your fingers into is that blanket of wax and water. So it just becomes more clear and prevalent during the winter.
Okay.
Just the mixing of the chemicals. So
Now there has been some people that I've seen discussing that you could add water to help that. Now I think most of you guys add it in there, and that's where I let these people know. But if they need to add additional water, what do you recommend or say to that?
yeah, you can add a little bit of water if you want to put an inch extra blanket to the water. That'll help a little bit. The wax is going to do a lot better than the water, so it's not necessary because during you can see a skim of film usually.
Yes.
So that's the most important part right there.
Okay, now the wax, I don't know if it's a proprietary product. If somebody wanted to try and make theirs last longer, is there a certain, I'm sorry, sometimes I can vision people and I see somebody melting wax down and pouring it in there, and that's probably not what you want to do. Can you explain that to somebody that?
Yeah, it's just a paraffin wax. It's nothing special. If you've got some wax laying around that but you got to get it. You have to heat it up before you can pour it out. Obviously.
Gotcha.
So you're not just going to use candle wax, but I mean, we could sell it to you guys if you wanted to, but we do put it in all of our drums. So, and only you can only have so much where it will really help the product. So.
And I really kind of think about that too. I just know that there have been some people, one of the people that we know that's in Arizona said that he kind of had some troubles with it evaporating a bit quickly. And I know some of the hotter environments, because it does, like you said, evaporate, they may, I guess in some cases, if you can get a few more extra days or uses out of it,
Yeah.
it might work. So I feel that that's some valuable information for people.
And if you're dealing with a situation like that and you are seeing your evaporation be really bad, you can add an inch of water. Just don't go overboard with it. So
Gotcha.
that will help for sure.
Okay, definitely. So take a note of that. It's good to know. It's something that I didn't know, but I had seen, and I had told people that I didn't suggest it, but I also let people know that was all stuff leading up to really wanting to sit down with you and be able to say, hey, let's get a video out so we can be able to help people understand this more.
And then anytime you're adding anything to chemicals, just do it in moderation. Do it very slowly. Make sure, don't add a bunch right away. We want you guys to be safe doing it.
So, what have you heard from some people that have used your product?
Mm-hmm.
Two positive things, and the most common negative thing.
Okay. Two positive things. The stripper works amazing. It's one of the fastest products out there, obviously. So you got a lot of rims to do. You bust them out really quickly, and you can get them back to the customer. A lot of powder coaters are moving towards, they want to be able to powder coat and strip in 24 hours. So that's a huge service, and you can only do that with the strongest product out there. Our price is good, but it's really our shipping that really wins people over. So people are tired of waiting, 3 weeks to a month to get a product. So if you're in the Midwest, we can normally get you product in 1 to 2 business days. If you're West Coast, it's a little different. It's, you're looking at a week, 2 weeks, and then East Coast, you're probably at 3 to 4 business days. So those are the huge benefits of our product.
There was a mix-up. Things happen. So we did have one container that was a bit delayed, but when we were in Colorado, right at about 8 days, and that's counting the 2 weekends. So we were getting it in Colorado right in about 6 business days,
right.
5 to 6 business days. So if you're, kind of closer to the West Coast or Colorado, maybe Utah area, Wyoming, Nebraska, it really is quick. Because I know with a competitor's company, we waited. It was either wait 6 weeks, or we ended up paying a ridiculous amount, and we didn't get a full 55 gallons. We got a 5 gallon, but we had to pay as much for the 5 gallons in shipping for hazmat,
right?
Because we didn't want to wait 6 weeks for it.
Yep. If you miss that truck, yep. Yeah.
So shipping is on point, and that's one thing that we really like about you guys, is that you guys offer that. Now, what would the one negative thing you probably hear the most?
Well, with the rim strip, it's just such a powerful product. The odor's very strong, but that's the reason it is so powerful. So we do have alternative products to that, which are still strong. They're still methylene chloride. We actually came out with something called our 1010P epoxy stripper. It's basically just a step down from the rim strip. So if you don't want something as harsh but still gets the job done, our 1010P is a good alternative. I've gotten them all on my skin by accident. I'd much rather have the 1010P on my skin than the rim strip. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's the main thing. When it comes to the hazards of it. But you just got to wear the correct PPE. Make sure you're doing everything safely. So.
Yes, very important. Maybe somebody strips more paint than they do powder coat. Maybe the 1010 that you would just talk about?
Yep.
Would that be kind of preferred? It will still take paint, but it's not necessarily as harsh. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good alternative. We've even got something called our PS1L. So if you're not doing like a lot of rims with clears and those tough epoxy primers underneath, a PS1L, if you're just doing a bunch of Yeti cups or something like that with just a really thin powder coat layer. That product's perfect. It's our least expensive. The odor's very very good, and get it on your skin. It really doesn't hurt that bad. So.
And can that one be shipped to a home or no, because it has methylene chloride?
That one also has methylene chloride. So,
okay.
But that's just kind of the grade. Our rim strips of the methylene chloride. Rim strips the strongest. 1010Ps still good for rims, but it's a little safer. And then our PS1L we typically recommend for people not doing a ton of rims.
Gotcha. Can it go bad? Can it, aside from evaporating,
Mm-hmm.
can it go bad to where it won't be working, and what type of things could make that happen?
So there's a few things. So we typically say it's a 2-year shelf life. Just over time, it's things are just going to start evaporating and breaking down. The pH levels will change over time. Really, how it really goes bad if you mix, like the rim strips, it's an acid-based product. So if you mix an alkaline, you throw some baking soda in, that's going to hurt it. That's just going to neutralize it, and you're going to be left with worthless product. So,
When neutralizing after somebody's stripped some wheels, what do you recommend to somebody who's asking you about your product for the first time? How do you recommend that they deneutralize it?
so I say you can either go with TSP, or you can go with baking soda. Baking soda is a lot easier for people to find, it seems like. So, and I would keep a water tank, and then just add baking soda as you go. You just want to continuously just keep adding more and more in as you're rinsing more. So
Very important. We felt, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I know that there's some other people that think or feel the same way. If you put your wheel in that rinse tank and it's not bubbling, showing a reaction, you probably definitely need more TSP or baking soda. You should kind of see a reaction in there when you do that.
yeah, and you want to leave it in there long enough, because the last thing you want to do is hit it with a power washer with that stripper still on there, and that hits you back in the face. That's not fun.
So, oh yeah, that's why I could say, why does it taste so sweet?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because it's definitely happened.
So it's very important to have that initial dump. Plus that contains all that methylene chloride too going in that water.
So make sure that's important. And we have a video where we talk about it. We actually use TSP and baking soda, 1 part TSP, 2 parts baking soda, of what we actually mix in there. And it's right at about a half a pound to a pound of TSP and about 2 pounds of baking soda per almost 40 gallons of water that we use, and it lasts for some time.
Perfect. Yep.
It works perfect. So I'm sitting here on your website, and as somebody may go to your website, there's a couple of items here that I don't necessarily know about, or some of them kind of look familiar, but can we touch on the Flex Cleaner and Degreaser? And I might be saying it wrong, but the Flex Cleaner and Degreaser, first off, large amounts, is this like a typical cleaner and degreaser that you may find at Home Depot or Lowe's, or is this a bit stronger?
So this is going to be, the big one at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, I think it's Purple Power. So this one's going to be significantly more concentrated. So you're going to get more use out of it. You're going to be able to add a lot more water to this. It's just a more industrial grade product that businesses can get. We can sell to the average, we can sell this to someone just working out of their home. That's not a problem, but it's just stronger than what you would find in most stores.
It looks like here you have an actual, like a powder strip paste.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be used a lot, but what is that product more kind of recommended towards?
Yeah, so our PS2P, it's for people that don't want a liquid. They'd rather brush on a part. Like big railings, not everyone owns a massive tank, so you need a paste that you can just brush on, and that you can't put in a liquid tank. We've also got another paste that is called our PS1P. Mm-hmm. That we sell that more to the auto body industry. So that's more for just taking off paint. It's a little less aggressive, so it takes a little bit longer to take off like a powder. But it still takes off powder, it just takes a little bit longer.
Do you sell all of those as well in the 5, 30, and 55?
Yeah, we do. Yep. And those are going to be similar to like an aircraft stripper that you used to be able to get in big box stores. You can't get them in big box stores. You also need a business license to buy those as well. But it's just going to be like your old school aircraft stripper.
So they've got a whole host of different products that are on their website. If you needed it, isopropyl alcohol in large amounts, or acetone. We purchase 5-gallon containers of acetone. We use a lot of acetone, whether we're soaking parts for Cerakote or something like that.
Yep.
So if you guys need something else, any other solvents, methyl kettle ketone.
Yep.
What are those used for? The more just kind of cleaning.
MEK, yeah, it's more of a cleaner. It'll degrease your parts too. So
Okay.
It's
Either
on
one if you choose to. But if you're doing Cerakote, Cerakote suggests that you soak the parts overnight in acetone. And if you've ever bought 5 gallons of acetone from Home Depot, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely ridiculous.
And where we really save you money is bulk pricing. So if you can order in a 55-gallon drum or a 30-gallon drum, we can save you quite a bit of money.
And all your products, I'm assuming, work the same way with shipping. You're able to handle shipping with those just the same as your others and
Yeah,
get it out quickly.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. Do you think the current product that you have now is strong enough, or are you guys going to try and make something stronger? Kind of what's in that?
So we have a few different chemists that are constantly working on bettering our non-methylene chloride strippers, just because we want something that, inevitably, you want something that's safer and works just as good as the rim strip. So that's the goal. So they're constantly, we've got a chemist that we hired. He lives in Indiana. He's fantastic. Basically wrote the book on paint strippers. So he's been working on that nonstop for us. So that's our goal, is to get safer, stronger, faster products.
Gotcha.
So.
And especially staying more on the environmentally side of it.
Yes,
too.
yeah, because that's, inevitably that's where everything's going.
Can you let people know what website to go to? I noticed that we were able to pull up 2, and then there's actually one for their powder coating stuff. So there are 2 Express Chem websites. One's Express Chem, one's Express Chemical. But if you guys want to get powder coating stuff, there's actually a website that you guys really keep everything around.
Yeah, so it's powderstrip.com. It's just powderstrip.com. So that's got all of our products. All the strippers, that pricing that you see includes shipping to the 48 states. Except it excludes Hawaii and Alaska. You just need to get a quote for those. But yeah, so that's where you get that from. The solvents on there, you need to call for a quote. But yeah, that's powderstrip.com. So.
And if they want to email you for an order or a question.
So in the powder coating group, we've got Brian Harrell, Sam Gaines, and myself. We all handle all the calls. So they're just as knowledgeable as me on this stuff.
And an email address that they may be able to reach out to you at if they don't want to talk on the phone or something?
Yeah, it's info@powderstrip.com, but you can always call us. Our phone number is 314-266-4600. Just ask for the powder coating department. We'll be able to take care of you.
One last thing before we go. What are your main types of PPE that people should be using?
Okay. Yeah, so the most important protective thing is you want positive airflow. You need fan systems, keep a door open, keep a garage open. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. But other than that, we sell stripping gloves. They go up to your elbows. We sell sleeves that you put the sleeves from your elbows to theirs, and then we also sell aprons. You're going to want to wear a face shield of some kind. We don't sell the face shields, but we sell the other things.
And shields are better than goggles.
Yes.
Because goggles may protect your eyes, but if you get drips on your face from power washing and it's not completely neutralized, then you can get it on your skin or on your face, so not just or in your mouth. That's how I know it tastes sweet. But you definitely want to be able to use it, or need to be able to use the correct PPE. So a face shield over goggles is highly recommended.
The only other thing I can think of that we don't sell that everyone should have a bottle of, it's called gluconate. It would be used for the rim strip specifically. There's a harmful acid in there called hydrofluoric acid. That's what makes it work so well. But this gluconate, you can just buy it right on Amazon. It really neutralizes that hydrofluoric acid. So it's designed for that. Yeah, it's designed for that.
Okay. So keep that around and your emergencies, just as you should have emergency eye wash and stuff like that as well. Thank you. I want to thank you very much for taking the time to be able to do this and kind of answer some questions. We had some questions that we saw being asked and or answered by different people in groups. And you can't necessarily trust everything on the internet. It's kind of better to go to the source and be able to talk to somebody about it. And kind of get those answers. Is there any final things that you would like to add? Maybe about safety, or maybe a promotion for your products, or is there anything else you would like to add that you think that we didn't necessarily touch on?
I think we pretty much touched on it. You know, if you guys ever need anything, feel free to call. Customer service is one of our strongest things, so there's always someone here. We're 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. So keep that in mind for the West Coast, East Coast people. So, but yeah, phone number is 314-266-4600. Just ask for the powder coating department, and someone will help you out. So.
Powder strip, also known, or we call it as rim stripped. That's what we were introduced to it as. For all your powder coating stripping needs or paint stripping needs, and they've got a whole array of different products for whatever you're going to need to do stripping. So make sure you go and check them out. Again, this is a product that we use. We happen to move back to the state where they distribute from, so we were able to come down and do this interview for you guys, and thank you again.
Yep, thank you.
Well, that's it. It was a great interview. We had a lot of fun. Hope you all enjoyed it, and hope you guys got some good information. If you did, smash up the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and if you've watched this far and you're not subscribed to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button down below and turning on all post notifications. That way you're alerted every time we upload new great content like this. See you all in the next video. Peace.